with that, welcome
Plugs?
to this episode of Golem.
Golem.
Yeah.
Golem.
That's it. That's okay.
Concrete
We're gonna start off
noise.
with some announcements. Just kidding. I don't have announcements. We're gonna go over to today's sponsors instead.
And our announcement is that we have none.
Our announcements are: you should come watch us live if you're not. Come check us out because this is now all of the VOD viewers and all the podcast listeners are joining us now. So, you know, we have some fun, and you can give hero points and you can do all sorts of stuff. So come join us live, maybe if you want, every other Tuesday. All right, let's go to some sponsors. Let's start off with Pocket Bard. Bella.
Well, let me tell you about Pocket Bard. First of all, what is Pocket Bard? Pocket Bard is a music and soundscape companion. That's not it. That's a real dog. Music and soundscape companion app for tabletop role-playing games. All of the background noises that you hear during Golem are controlled by Waffles,
A
and
dog.
not by my dog
By a
Henry.
dog.
Yo, that's such a realistic soundbite.
Pocket Bard. It is a free way to enhance your RPG. There's also a paid version with a lot of cool features, but you get a lot of free fantasy essentials. It's organized, it's easy, it's intuitive and functional, and it will just make your entire campaign sound so much better. Dog not included. God, I'm so sorry.
Wow, isn't
Perfect.
Waffles so good at layering realistic
he's
sound
just
into
unbelievable.
any situation?
That was
Incredible.
you're so impressive. That's like
And you can get on your players' nerves like this if you have Pocket Bard.
no, that was amazing and flawless. Thank you so much, Bella. I also want to give a shout out, as always, to Moonbeam. If you're not familiar with Moonbeam, they're revolutionizing the streaming space. It's really, really cool, so I highly encourage you to check them out. They're now in open beta. So if you go to moonbeam.stream, I believe you can take a look. It's a streaming service, so if you stream, you can stream literally with a click of a button. It's so easy. If you are looking to build a community or you're looking to do a little bit more than just streaming, they're kind of like a nice combination between, I call it if Discord and Twitch had a baby. So you also are able to have realms, which are going to be opening up to literally everybody soon, where you can curate your community, or just join a public realm where you can just stream without worrying about any of that. So lots of cool stuff there. They're really trying to empower the creator, making sure everything is fair and transparent, and I think they're doing some really cool, innovative stuff. You should check them out. We're streaming on there as well right now. So, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Yalla. Let's play Golem.
All right. Let's do it. Golem.
There you go.
Golem.
It was so good the first time.
I didn't want to do it the first time. I wanted to be different.
I want to be cool and different.
Well, congratulations.
I just want to
Don't
be a
deviate from that melody. Take it from me. You stick to the fucking script.
Yeah, contrarian.
Is there a reason you're saying that, Bogie? Like, was there...
No.
No?
Otherwise, your character dies.
Channeling his inner theater teacher.
Let's go back.
Callback for no one but ourselves. Great. Wonderful.
It's a personal callback, and you're not there. You're not there.
The Breakfast
You can't
Club,
see the
you'll be
microphone,
there.
so this must look insane.
It just looks like you're yelling into a cliff.
I love it, honestly. All right, y'all.
From my standpoint, it looks like you're whispering into my ear, actually. I was taking it.
Nice.
Okay,
Beautiful.
that's what I was going
Romantic. Okay. Last we left off, you returned from your first foray into the woods, retrieving a thoroughly cowed Baron, and returning him to the safety of your little village of Roga. You return upon actually getting thanks from Baron's parents, specifically to Lenora, as well as a welcome back from Mel. With that return, Mel, who owed you a story or an answer to some of your pressing questions, invites you back up to her office and tells you a little bit about what she has been able to gather about the world before the calamity. and tell really about the stars and what information she's been able to gather thus far. After that, she, although obviously brimming with questions and curiosities anew, you all have some discussions. You also get a twig with a flower bud on it from Mel that she tells you is going to help direct you to what she is sensing. And then we kind of all split off to prepare and make your preparations before knowing you're going to head out again from Roga on your perhaps bigger journey come the following morning. So we're going to pick back up. I know we had a handful of rather emotional scenes at the end of last session, and basically we're going to just pick right back up the night before you all head out, and I'll let y'all take it away, whoever would like. Let's go to Lenora.
Hey.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
You know. So we picking up at home? In
Yeah, so
Roga?
I'd say, you have left Mel, you've left the group that you've sort of been hanging around more than you've ever hung around like a small
anybody,
group
yeah.
repeatedly before. And yeah, you have time to kill, you have preparations, like what from basically leaving Mel's office, where is Lenora going?
She's going home.
Going
She's going
home.
straight home.
Straight home.
Where else is she gonna? She's got nowhere else to be. She got everything she needs at home. And she knows that this is, that was just a taste of what's coming for her. So, she wants to spend as much time with her moms as she can, and sort of have her introvert time, because
Yeah.
all of this. I mean, not that being around people is new to her, because she grew up around Roga, but this is the first time she's had to spend extended periods of time away and with people she knows now, but who are essentially strangers.
With a lot of communication, a lot of requests,
A lot of
from you.
communication, and a lot of understanding how to be part of this group, where she's kind of learning that maybe not everybody is out to get her a little bit, but also still has her guard up because of the visions that she's had, and because at this point she's really not sure if she can even trust Mel, because she's hidden so much from them, and she's beginning to become suspicious, and so she goes home to clear her head and decompress and get whatever she needs from her moms, who are her favorite people.
Yeah. So I say when you get home, let's say it's late afternoon. It's early evening, late afternoon. At this point that, because your moms have a little alchemical shop, so to speak, out of the first floor of their own home. It's on the slightly lower levels of Roga, so it's not on the main hilltop. It's up on one of the sides of the steep hills, and so you climb up the stairs to the side of your home. The little sign. What is if you know this? What's the name of the store that your moms run? To put you on the spot. And
Damn
if
it.
you don't know, we could come back to it. It's all good.
I didn't have one. Shit.
We gotta think of some very cute pun names. Everybody go.
I know, Jesus.
Pass.
I feel so.
Magic.
I feel like
mixes.
no, I feel like such a letdown though. I didn't
No,
come up
I'm
with
so
it.
sorry. You're good. You're good. So you go into the front door and the little buildings, and there's that instinct where, oh, another customer's coming in, and they both turn towards you, and then they see you come home, and they've been a little bit worried about you. They knew you were stepping out of the village, and so they look incredibly relieved that you're home. But they also see a lot of that tension
Yeah.
on what's been going on. So almost without verbal communication between your moms, they look at each other, share a look for a moment, and then hold on, as I don't have everything up right here. 1 second. As Iris says, I'll go make some tea. And Luzia immediately goes to the door, turns the sign from open to closing a little early, from what they usually do. Then goes over to the windows and starts lowering the blinds to ease some of the sensory of the space. Immediately the space is dimmer, calmer, the way you like it at night, even though it's still a little light out. They make you a cup of tea, usher you over to the kitchen table, and they're not hounding you with questions. They're not... You can tell, though, they're very curious about what's been going on, about what's been happening, but they're trying first and foremost to give you your space again, to make this feel like home, to make this feel like a safe, comfortable space. They've done this a couple times when you were got in trouble with school, things like when you've had overwhelmed moments, you know that this is kind of what they like to do, to just cozy up the space a little bit. So now in front of you, sitting at the kitchen table with a warm mug of tea, and it's some herbal mix that's meant to calm or something. And they both sit across from you, and they kind of touch your hands. Hey.
I've just decided this of them. So she is taller than both of her moms.
Perfect.
And a tradition that she has is she sits and they both come to either side and crush her.
Oh.
And they squish. They do a big squish. And so she requests a firm squish from her moms. And so they do, as a little family, they do a little big squish. Big squish. And now she feels a lot better.
And they happily oblige.
Yeah.
It's squish time.
Yeah. She takes a sip of her tea. We had to save Baron.
Yeah, I heard people talking. Came in and were asking about you, but you were busy, and honestly, it's none of their business. They're nosy. The town's nosy.
I had to kill a plant.
Oh. Are you okay? Did you get hurt?
I'm good.
You killed it. Wait. It was alive?
Like more than one.
Huh.
I think Mac might be raising his... Mac, you raising your hand there, bud? No, never mind. Just
I'm
kidding.
adjusting my microphone, but you can't see it.
I can't see it.
I'm so sorry. I'm
It's
doing
I was
magic.
I was like,
So, okay, all right. Killed some plants.
alive plants.
I mean, plants are alive in the...
These were more alive than the other plants.
Okay, yeah. I don't think I've ever seen something like that, so I trust you. I don't know. I mean, you want me to look into that? I can see if the...
Have you heard of it before, or is this...
I don't, and above on one of the shelves, there's rows of different plant books and things like that they use for their herbal and different medicines and things like that. She's offering to look in those books, but she is not sure. I'll look. Yeah, I'll see if
Perhaps you can see if there are other more alive plants that may attack us in the future.
Yeah, do you want to sketch out the leaves? Because that'll help kind of identifying since I wasn't there.
Yes, and let me have a look at my well, I've got a +6, and I was about to say maybe she's really shitty at drawing, and so she makes she's you see her scribble really hard, and tongue sticking out the side of her mouth, super focused, and she presents this really like terrible, like
Just this,
barely
it's
kindergarten
the classic,
drawing.
just like leaf shape, and
Yeah,
it's
And with just like angry face on the leaf. But
Yeah.
she does have a +6 in crafting, so I don't know if that
You know, what's your
factors
nature?
into it.
What's your nature?
Oh, nature is a 0.
Okay. Then let's go. I'll let you do crafting. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it would be funny if it was like if it looked really stupid, but
yeah,
if it,
you know, we'll find out.
do you want me to roll for the drawing?
Yeah, let's see how well you're able to sort of like
How
recreate
well
what
I'm
you
able
saw.
to-
It's
Okay.
a great drawing of the wrong plant.
She's like, I'm pretty
So
sure this
is
is
that
poison ivy.
Is it just a standard 20?
yeah, you roll a 20 and add your.
All right, roll +6. That's a 21.
Okay, very nice. Yeah. Okay, so you make a pretty like accurate. You even kind of do it from different angles. You do like a little close up of like the leaf pattern, and then you
Yeah.
kind of do like the overall like bush. And there was like 2 different things that you were attacked by. There was like the vine
The
one, and
whippy
then there was
one,
the
yeah.
bush one. So you'll do both with the 21 easily enough. You kind of sketch the 2
Great.
different ones, and so she'll take that and she'll look into that.
And this is what it looked like when it was destroying Baron.
You dropped Baron really badly.
This
and,
is
like,
how
X's on
stupid
his
Baron
eyes.
looked. This is how stupid Baron looked
Blood
being attacked
everywhere.
by the plant.
Your mom just tries to take the paper away, and she's just like, I just don't want to get this part messed up, but you can show me Baron on this other piece of paper. She's like she's trying to save the one thing.
Do you see how nearly he died?
I do.
Do you see how close he came to being killed by a stupid plant?
Yes, I
Idiot.
did. I am grateful that you saved his life.
Why?
Your moms share a look, and Iris kind of is the one that ends up speaking up because life is important, and
Surely not all lives. Surely not all lives matter.
don't make me go that route, Bella.
Way to go! No, that was clever as anything.
Just a single tear rolls down the GM's face, not even.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. Because what we've dedicated in this shop for is the betterment of our community. I think it's important to do so, and even if you don't agree, and even if some people are just the dickest of dicks, that doesn't, if they're dead, that eliminates the chance that they could ever be better.
But it also eliminates the chance of them continuing to be bad.
That's true. That's true.
I will have to think on this. I am not glad that he lives, but I am glad that I killed a creature that he could not.
I'm proud of you too.
Thank you.
So, are you going to be back to working at the shop tomorrow?
No, I think we're leaving. I don't know.
Oh,
I think Mel is lying about something.
wait, what?
Yeah, she keeps a lot of secrets. Did you know that there's stars? How crazy does that sound?
What do you mean stars? Like the shape?
Like if you, so in the apparently in the sky, you look at night and there's like stuff.
Well, there's the colors that we always see. You're saying beyond that there's stars?
There's like there's a bunch of stuff.
Huh. Oh, I don't know. I focused more on the kind of plants in the ground beneath us. I didn't really pay much attention.
Exactly. I'm like, what am I looking up there? I'm over here. But apparently, there's a whole bunch of things that we didn't. She's keeping things from us, and I don't know what she means to do.
Well,
But it seems I have to find out. Hey, do you guys ever think that I might just be bad?
no. They both say in unison. Like, no. No. Lenora, no. No. I know it's
and
not
she
been
just nods
easy.
and drinks her tea.
There's a lot of people that judge you by how you look.
It's not just how I look, it's who I am.
Yes, but we've raised you. And you're stubborn. And you can be obnoxious. And you really care about being right. But bad?
Because I am almost always usually right.
But none of those things make you bad.
What about the part about being a demon?
Devil.
Devil. Yes. Shit. Fuck. What about the devil part?
What about it?
Isn't
It's whatever the fuck
Do I
you want to
just
make
not-
of it.
okay. I will continue to accept this until I am disproven.
At that point, I think Lucia is going to kind of like squeeze your shoulder as she gets up, and she's going to start tidying up the shop and the kitchen and things like that. Is there anything else that you wish to prepare or discuss tonight before you kind of meet back up tomorrow morning?
I don't think so. Maybe no, I think just looking into the plants, since they have so many plant books. I was trying to look at my new like spells and stuff and see if there's anything that I should talk about to them, but it seems that everything else is going to be pretty innate.
Okay, awesome.
So I think there's part of her that is still a little bit cautious about asking certain questions just based on what she saw in her nut dream.
Amazing.
Dream.
Nut dream.
Not the nut
yes.
dream.
Not the nut dream.
Perfect.
Yeah, there's an element of her because like these are the only people she's ever really trusted, and then all of a sudden there's that little oh, it was a seed, right? Not a nut. Was it a nut or it was a seed?
I mean, at this point, it's a nut. I can't
it's
take that back.
Sometimes you
Can it be
nut,
both?
sometimes you seed, sometimes
Not all seeds are nuts, but all nuts
but
are
all
seeds,
nuts are seed.
or something
Sure.
like that.
We're gonna go with
It planted just that little kernel of doubt.
Yeah.
And so she knows that she has never been given a reason to feel that way, but it's still sort of needled its way into her brain. So she is happy to sort of like absorb the affection of her and like comfort of her moms while she is taking her little break, but she's not divulging too much.
Yeah, perfect.
This is the point of the video game that the pop-up comes up and says, "Are you sure you want to continue? You won't be able
Yep.
to return for a long time."
Yep.
Yeah, I
Would
mean,
you like to save your game?
I don't think there's anything else to do.
That's perfectly valid. All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring back the one thing from our previous campaign that I think is incredibly important, which is Camera Chicken. Camera Chicken is our cameraman.
Ah, yes, I remember.
None of you see Camera Chicken. Only the audience does. Camera Chicken only exists for us. And so Camera Chicken exits out of Lenora's household and flies on over so that we get to take a little peek at Gerran.
Sure.
Where do we find Gerran after leaving Mel's office?
He is heading to his I won't go so far as to call it home, but the
Host.
place where he lays his head. Sure. He's heading to Vandrix, and see what he and Neri are up to.
So, you head on back to your host family where you've been staying for the past weeks now, honestly. And definitely feels a little odd, I would think. So before we kind of go into them, just you are someone from before coming to Roga that isn't necessarily used to brick and mortar roof over your head consistently for long periods of time. Now you're coming over here, coming back to this place that you have sort of been longer than you have anywhere else, with the knowledge that you are headed out again in the morning. Where's Gerran at internally? I would love a little peek.
Emotionally, all over the place, because there's an aspect of the reason why he stayed has been proven to be true. Like the bet that the 1 in a million bet that he made, like,
paid off.
Yeah, certainly. And as quick as that revelation comes, another decision lingers.
Yeah. Okay, a little bit of turmoil going on inside Gerran's head, and I think.
Well, one last thing to add to that, and also trying to understand the overwhelming emotional reaction that just happened, and where did that come from?
Yes. Thinking to the revelation, going from the holy shit, all of this is happening, and holy shit, all et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and then thinking back to this revelation, that excitement spikes again as you think ahead to what can come next, which is about when you walk in to Vandrick's, the Mornvale household, and
he knocks first.
Okay, I think at this point it's probably something that's happened quite a couple times, and you hear Vandrick just kind of like, yeah, because he recognizes your gate,
like,
he
this
recognizes
fucking guy.
your knock at this point, and so you enter. He doesn't even open the door for you, and you're used to this. He's like,
yeah.
And you walk in, and Vandrick is sitting at the kitchen table, which you can see kind of directly from the front door, in a little ways past the living room. And he's sitting in that chair, and he's whittling, on wood and something. It's what he does. He picks up in his free time here. And he looks up. And somehow, even though you haven't said anything, he shifts in his seat. So you're headed out.
Did word travel this fast? Or
You're an open book.
He doesn't respond to that and has a seat next to him.
So you learned what you wanted to learn?
2 for 2.
2 for 2.
No, I mean, you're 2 for 2 with your whatever you're doing with this. No, yes, I think I am. A lot has happened.
He'll point with his whatever wooden stick that he's whittling into, and it looks like it's like a small bear is slowly forming at the top of this thing, and he's pointing with it, just gesturing with it to your tail, which is swishing, without you even realizing it, just a little bit flipping back and forth, as to why you're such an open book.
Fuck.
But he smiles and puts it down actually for a second. Lots going on. You ready for the next leg?
I think I have to be. It's...
Nah. You You don't have to be. Settle down this town. I don't think you want to.
No. Because then, if I settle down here, then the purpose of me staying in the first place is irrelevant.
Sure. We all make choices. Change our life around. I retired. Doesn't make everything I did for naught.
No, of course. Did that feel good? Or did it hurt?
Yeah, my joints are not what they used to be. It's nice to rest a little bit.
No, the act of retiring, not necessarily the
Listen,
place that puts you into retiring.
I know. I'm fucking with you. Look.
Oh. I
Puts
see.
a hand on your shoulder. I think you are ready. Just trying to get you to set your head up straight. Look towards the future. Don't passively choose what's going to happen to you. Actively. If you want it, you're going to go out and get it. Right?
Right.
This is important to you?
He grips the leather charm that's around his wrist. Very. Because it's what makes everything worth it. I mean, have you ever wanted something so badly that it hurt? Like physically hurt?
Yeah, like right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those days are behind me, but I do know what you mean. You gotta find it. You gotta seek it out.
Right. I mean, this is the longest I've stayed anywhere. My family and I were nomads. But I'm glad I did slow down for a bit.
Try a little bit of everything. Teaches you a lot in life. Keep that open mind, open arms, all that good stuff. You'll be surprised where life takes you.
I mean, I've seen a few things in my travels, so I wonder if I actually will feel surprised.
At that, he actually genuinely kind of like leans back and laughs. And it's just the very classical, like, old man who has lived a very full life. Seeing this kid is like, oh, I'm not gonna be surprised by anything. But it's very also endearing.
Have you ever thought about what's beyond the colors and the gray up above us?
Takes a second, kind of looks up at the ceiling. No, not really. Things have settled nicely here in Roga now, but a couple years ago things were rougher. We had to earn this, and I'll be honest, we didn't have a lot of time or freedom to search for beyond survival. That's not a bad thing that you got that time now.
No, I suppose not. But I suppose that's something I didn't really think about until now. Is if I find what I'm looking for, is it possible that it upsets what happens next? That piece that you now have is upended?
What you mean?
Do you know what stars are?
Shape, yeah.
He kind of smiles at that. Before I found my way to you and Neri, I found this image of a map of like stars and constellations, these large, powerful things that seem to almost connect to each other. It was just an image that I saw, but it called to me. And then maybe it was just a figment of my imagination, and then I dreamt about it over and over and over again. And then I hope to find someone to just make it real. And now it is. It
Sounds
exists.
like
There's something.
it's a thing that you learned about. But it also sounds like that might be something that you are about to be on a journey to make real. To make real.
Can I ask you a really direct question? And, I mean, I'm not good at direct answer because it's you.
Yeah.
Am I just being a sentimental fool?
Why don't you come back to me with the answer for that? Let me know what it turns out to be. Go on your adventure. Find out. You let me know.
What about you? Were you a sentimental fool on your travels?
And his eyes glance over to the wall in the living room that is like the like a collage of like just portraits that have been hung up of this family, and you track his eyes to a painting of his late wife, and you see his eyes kind of soften. Yeah, I was.
Maybe I'll come back with a portrait of my own.
Reaches out his hand, shake yours. I hope so.
He returns it in kind.
Gives you a firm shake. And at this point, a door bangs open. The front door bangs open as Neri comes running in, and just immediately like, Gerran, I heard you saved Baron. Did that really happen? Was he gonna die? Did you save his life?
Yeah, actually. And he takes out like a patch of his like armor and shows the bandage.
Oh my god, does it hurt? Can I touch it? No, that'll hurt you. Can I touch it?
You probably shouldn't, but
Okay. No, sorry.
no,
Did it hurt?
it did hurt.
Okay.
Yes.
Does it still hurt?
Not as much.
What attacked you? What was it?
There was this.
And what we can do at this point, if you'd like,
Yeah, I
is
got
like he starts just eagerly like just eating up everything. And as you kind of retell everything that happened and regale him, I on a sort of general level, do you sort of regale him with a I'll call it a Disney version of sort of idyllic in the sense of like, and then we're the heroes and we saved his life kind of thing? Or do you try to give him the more like, it was rough, this isn't for everybody, like, are you trying to encourage him or sort of bring him back down to earth?
Somewhere in the middle, a little closer to the reality of the situation. But I think it'll start out that way, and then he'll sort of like, if he sort of comes down like a little like mopey, and then he'll kind of bring it back up based off of the reaction.
Yeah, perfect, awesome.
Because given just the expectations of the world, like he doesn't want, considering how he met Neri, I'll put it that way.
Yeah. You don't want. Yeah. You know this kid takes it to the 10th degree. Like 100%. He goes. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So as this continues, and kind of falls into the rhythm of the evening in this household. Is there anything else? So there's two things that I think will have to happen. One, you're going to be preparing for the next day, so you can tell me if there's anything else that you're specifically doing to prepare. But then one other thing that needs to happen, which is that you need to tell Neri that you're leaving.
The first thing from like a preparation perspective is he's going to ask Vandrick to work with him on some footwork, because from his perspective, like the reason why he has this particular injury is he didn't dodge quickly enough.
Yep.
And after a bit of that and a bit of a workout, so to speak,
which Neri is like doing his best to follow along in the living room.
Of course. He'll we didn't really super describe the house. Do they have like a patio or a what's the thing on the balcony?
No, so this is going to be a simpler home, also kind of on the hillside of Roga, not in the main square. This place has a small front porch, but it's actually just one story. And I say one story is something that's kind of built on a hillside can be. So it's almost like a split level. So you have this like the area which is a living room and the kitchen, and you have a little bit of stairs where there's like the 2 bedrooms that has been repurposed that you've been using as well. So yeah, there's the front porch, and then there's also the back space.
Neri, can you come out to the porch with me?
Yeah.
And he'll kind of give like Vandrick a look and they'll head outside. So I need to tell you something that you're probably not gonna like.
I'm tough.
I know. That's why I know you can handle it.
Okay.
Tomorrow morning, me and my new compatriots of sorts, we're heading out in the morning.
Oh, like, sorry, yeah,
No, you're okay. But this time I'm not sure when I'm coming back.
What do you mean?
Before we met, I had no intention of sticking around here for very long. But then I found you. Quite literally fell into my lap.
Yeah, you saved my life. Or at least my arm.
At least.
Yeah.
And something that I found before, actually, I'm searching for something really, really big. And it might have me be away for a while. So what I need you to do is to make sure that your grandfather is going to be safe and sound. Can you do that for me?
And you see he's like a little bit emotional, but trying really hard to like, yeah.
You can cry if you want to. I found out
he
that,
aggressively wipes his eyes. I'm not crying. Okay, a little bit, but I can.
It's okay.
I'll protect him. I'll protect this house.
I know you will.
You'll visit, right? When you can.
Of course.
Okay.
I already told your granddad I'd be back with a gift, I think.
Well, I get a gift. Will you bring me back
Of
something?
course.
Okay, cool.
But one thing to know, by the way, I know you will. And it's okay to cry, I found out recently.
He just nods very, emotionally, like...
Especially if it's something that means something to you. So, don't let that little fire go out while I'm gone, okay?
Yeah. Kind of pats the chest. And hey, Gerran.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I'm glad you stayed with us while you were here.
He kind of thinks to himself for a second. I'm glad I did too.
Cool. Well, I'll keep training, so when you come back, you'll see just how cool I am and how strong I've gotten. You'll just you wait. I'll keep practicing. And he's gonna run inside and start like doing more of the exercises that you were doing earlier. Yeah.
Because when I get back, we're gonna spar.
You see, like, kind of amps him up a little bit, and he ends up doing some of those exercises and the footwork practices until he gets like very tired and ends up kind of falling asleep on the couch. And you help Vandrick bring him over to bed, tuck him in, knocked out, just fast asleep.
Yeah, he kind of like shakes his head because he just like he has a little sister, so like he gets like that, but he's also he just like there's just something about this kid. He just doesn't know. He doesn't get
There
it.
is a level of energy and excitement and just this sort of want to take on the world in this little kid that just strikes something in you.
It's very familiar, actually.
And kind of put him to bed and turn the light off in the room and make any last preparations as Camera Chicken flies out of this room.
I stab it all the way out.
Camera Chicken is invincible as we head out of this household over to... As I look between my two options, does anybody want to volunteer? Mac. All right. We head over to Fitz. Tell me what happens. So with Fitz, as everybody left from Mel's office, there was a additional conversation that was had between Fitz and Mel at the top of the stairs before parting ways. So sort of on the heels of that rather emotional conversation, where does Fitz go?
Fitz takes like a long walk and ends up at like the far edges of town near a small hut that really is only familiar to him and him alone. It's where he spent a few years of his life growing up, ostracized from the community. In the place, I guess in the shadow of that hut now, are a series of raised planters. Fitz decided to do a little night gardening, so he is going to harvest what's in season right now, which would be like some little cherry tomatoes, a little garlic, some scallions and zucchini, and just a little bit of baby kale. And he's gonna take that night harvest and go back to his home and spend the next majority of a super montage washing, preparing, chopping, cooking, and it's mostly like a confit. He's trying to make a lot of food that he can preserve, which he'll then like try to throw in cans and jars and pots, so they'll be shelf stable in his absence. And with the fresh veg left, he will start to prepare some food for a meal for tomorrow night. He will slip into a bath and he will fall asleep. Waking up, I'm assuming, do we have the next morning or are we leaving at sunrise?
You're gathering relatively early on because you want to make good time with sunlight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, before he gets to bath mode, post-cooking, he will knock on the Gibble's home door with a bottle of some very strong ale, and ask if Pinto wouldn't mind helping him break down his food stall.
Wow. Here's what we'll
you
do.
got it, bud.
Here's what we'll do.
It's gonna take place after whatever it is.
Let's pause
We can retcon it
exactly
back
there, and jump to what happened a little bit before, and then we'll kind of bring you all back together. So Pinto, after leaving Mel's office, where do you go?
So out of game, I hope we're actually back in Roga after a day or two, because in game, Pinto has painstakingly written 6 months of lesson plans. And they're all in the form of letters. He has spent all night writing letters to his his prelims, his students. He's written letters for each day for the next 6 months for his substitute teacher to open.
And a lot of this was happening at the school, so you're not home yet. You kind of went to the school.
No, I am.
Yeah, cool.
He is in his classroom. He's scribbling furiously, and with each letter, he passes it off to his familiar, his spider. Which crazy. He's just been in his pocket for the past 24 hours in game. And so his familiar, which is a fluffy purple spider named TA, is actually taking his letters and folding them into origami fidgets that he's leaving on each prelim's desk.
TA is like sitting on top of like a stack of books and is like just with his little finger, like, well, not, I don't know, claw. What do you call these? What do you, spider legs?
His legs. Yeah, they're legs.
Okay,
cute little fuzzy legs.
With each fuzzy leg is like taking the paper and carefully folding it and then walking along it, like just really cute, just doing has a little system going on here every time. And sometimes you maybe wrote a particularly short letter and he wasn't done, and you see him kind of like look up at you and like slide the letter away from where he's working and continues and then takes it.
For sure. And without even lifting my head, I'm using. Sorry?
I said I just gotta ask real quick. Is your spider's name TA for like teacher assistant?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe it's
nice.
TE apostrophe AY.
Yeah.
So take it for what you will. Yeah, TA. And yeah, I'm like, without even lifting my head, he's writing these letters out with these plans of where he thinks their projects could be, or perhaps they want to try new projects. So he's got suggestions for, like, if you get bored working on your owlbear project, why don't you look into these night wolves or this and that. And he has written a letter to we haven't really talked about the administration, who they are, but the admin. He's dropped off a crate of radishes to Roy the custodian, because he and Roy have their thing every morning where Pinto gives him a radish from the Gibble's farm. Roy loves those radishes in the morning, and Roy takes care of his classroom first. This is a rule that most teachers know. That the two people that you need to have on your side are the people in charge of buildings and grounds and the people in charge of the main office. You need those two on your side. That's IRL advice.
I think at one point throughout all of this, like, TA is like stuck under a pile of letters and he just has like one leg wiggling out like hell, like he can't say anything, but it takes you a while to notice and you're like, oh.
Oh, sorry, bud. I use Mage Hand and I just like knock over the stack that's on top of him as I continue to write letters, because I'm also writing letters to my 30 brothers and sisters that I'm not going to have time to say goodbye to.
How big is the paper you're writing on? Like, is it you-size paper, or are you like, is each letter a Herculean feat for you?
For maybe some other humanoids my size, it might be like a Herculean task. But not for Pinto. He's a writer. He's spent lots of time. So no, he's got Although I do have, that's a funny image of him like holding like a regular
Just a
size
giant
pencil, like with his. You know what? Screw it. He is doing that, but it's at regular pace, and he's just.
You're small.
He's just got a
but you're not-
ladder and he's holding it at the top.
Absolutely.
So he's way more
You're
deft.
still like 3.5 foot tall, so you're fine.
Yeah. So, okay, with all of this preparation that is occurring, and it is thorough, it's getting late, and you're realizing it's getting kind of late, and you haven't gone home yet. Yeah, go ahead.
Yep, I go back to the Gibbles family farm with my stack of letters that at this point, my brothers and sisters have all gone to bed. Everyone else in the family farms. I am kind of the oddity of the family. In addition to being the runt of the litter, it's field mouse folk don't typically go into the world of academia. We stay rural. So all of my siblings are asleep. I just very gently slide a letter under each of their doors.
When you get home, there is dinner sitting out on the kitchen table under a cover to keep, the bugs away. Your mom left you some because she knows sometimes you come home late. And as you're sort of quietly sliding things under the doors and kind of moving around, you hear a door creak open as you see Shallot Gibbles, your mom, in like a full-on like nightgown with like the cap and everything. Like open
curlers underneath.
Yeah, curlers underneath everything. And she just kind of calls out quietly, "Pinto, honey, is that you?"
Oh, yeah, hey, Mom. Sorry, I didn't wake you, did I?
"Oh, no, it's okay. I was just worried about you."
No, it's okay. It's all right. I just,
Did you eat dinner?
No, I just got home. I promise I'll.
You gotta
I'll,
eat dinner, okay?
Of
Here,
course,
come on, let's make sure you eat dinner. And she like starts coming out of the room more, and is like starts.
Ma, you don't really need to. Okay, yeah, sure, Ma. Let's go. Let's sit down.
And she'll she'll make a cup of chamomile tea while she shuffles around the kitchen. "Do you want anything else? I got some bread over here. You want me to whip you up some eggs? I can make you some eggs. I got some left over from today."
Yeah, no, I'm not so hungry, but it's just what you got on the plate is good. Thank you.
You're just so small. You're so skinny. You're just so skinny.
And Ma, we've been through this. I'm enough, right? I've got enough. I've got enough of what I need.
You're enough, honey. You're enough. And she comes over and just like squeezes your cheeks and gives you a big kiss. All right, so I'll head to bed then. I'll see you in the morning. Yeah.
Wait, Ma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you sit down and eat with me for a minute?
She notices the shift a little bit, and she'll be like, "Okay, yeah, sure. Is something wrong?"
No. Wrong? No. This is honestly, it's all good news. So obviously, you know that.
Just make sure you eat.
Okay, sure. So in between shovels,
bites.
like every 5 seconds, he makes sure he shovels something in because he knows she's gonna say something.
Yeah.
So in between bites, he starts his little monologue. Mom, Fitz and we won yesterday, right? How cool was that?
I'm so proud of you. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. We were busy here on the farm, but I heard you did amazing.
We did really well, and I made some new friends. I think I don't know if they
so
necessarily see me as a
lovely,
friend.
They're
They're good people.
Bring them over for dinner.
Maybe that's kind of what I have to talk to you about, Mom. So Mel has kind of tasked me and Fitz, and the others to to leave for a little bit.
Leave? What do you mean leave?
Well, she's kind of confided in us, and given us like a little official task. She assured us we'll be back. But the timeline isn't so clear. So it might be a little bit. And Ma, I gotta tell you, I'm not sad at all. And I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you and Pop and Coco and Clover and Chili and everybody.
You see like a little bit of like her eyes begin to water, and she just kind of like wipes it. My baby's all grown up. Oh gosh, I knew this day would come, just not ready for it. And she starts like just wiping.
Don't start, please, because you know what happens when you start.
She scoops you up into a hug. Oh, my baby. And I will. Around this point in time, there's that knock on the door, probably, unless there's anything else. I'd want to, time it out. But if there's
just don't wake up Pop, but just give him this letter in the morning, okay? And just
he's gonna be so upset with me. I'm gonna hear about it for a week. You know that, right?
Hopefully I'll be back by then. But Mom, I love you and thank you.
Oh, honey,
thank you for everything.
Too. I love you too. Oh, she's such a sweetheart. Oh, here, have some more eggs.
Okay.
Feeds you more. Perfect. And with that, there's a knock on the door. Fitz, if you'd want to come back into the scene.
Fitzy, hey buddy, how you doing?
Good. I hope I am not waking anyone up. I didn't want to knock too loudly.
Oh no,
hi, Fitz, honey, you want some food?
Oh, I'm okay, Mama Gibbles. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm going to bed,
I have eaten. Okay, but I did bring some food for you all for when we're gone. So Fitz will just place a couple like jars of potted meat and vegetables on the much smaller table. But it's a very long table.
It's a very long table. You are hunched in here for sure.
Are you on your hands and knees, like outside, like in the front door? Like
it's that
a deep
small.
squat. It's a deep.
Government's travel suddenly.
It's a hobbit hole situation.
Perfect.
For sure.
And she will organize things, and she will head off to bed. Let y'all have a moment.
Fitz will slowly slide a bottle of liquor out from his sleeve and just also place that gently on the table.
It's a good move. She's gonna need that.
Oh, no. Fitz will pop the top and go, this one is for the boys.
Ooh.
And we'll grab 2 of your size glasses and pour a little bit.
I've got a Fitzy-sized mug. This is
I don't
certainly
want
not
one.
our first.
I don't want one.
You want a little thimble? For sure.
I want a little guy.
Little shot glass. And probably for ease also to not wake up the extensive family, you can kind of head out to basically, I mean, there's definitely a front porch with like rocking chairs and maybe one sort of like stool that you won't break if you sit on, Fitz.
If I may,
yeah,
please.
I think where we are is we're actually on the roof of the barn where we first met.
Yes. Hell
you know,
yes.
When we were kids, and my grandma Kale had passed away, and we were. I wish I could come up with a witty take on Shiva, but that's what they're doing at this point, and I'm essentially, not to draw this out, but Fitz as a kid noticed me all alone sitting on top of this barn, and he comes over with this plate of cookies, and that was how we met, and we just sat and we talked all night on the roof. Now we've both gotten bigger. I've reinforced the roof, but that is still our chill spot. If we ever need some solace, if we ever just need our bro time, we're up on that roof.
So there they are, chilling and drinking, and Fitz will look over. I still have not told my parents. I hope to do so before we leave, but I'm nervous, and I don't know. I didn't really have a problem breaking down the stand. I just don't know how long we're going to be gone, and I hope, if someone needs the space that they can have it in the time. But when I get back, it's mine.
Oh, of course. I think you're gonna be like a town celeb. You're gonna be like a celeb chef when we come back. Everyone's gonna want to eat from the Chicken Man. Circling
Eating
back, though,
from the Chicken Man. I can see the advertisement now. Come and eat from the Chicken Man.
I mean, we'll workshop it. Eat from the...
I liked it.
It was good. It's good. It's great. You know what, Fitzy? Whatever it is you do, if you do it with your whole chest, you're gonna be selling so much chicken, and people are gonna love you. And not just for what you make, but for who you are. You're really gonna break down a lot of walls. I know it. Can we circle back though? What do you think? Why don't you think you told your folks yet?
I think I wanted to be the very last thing that I do here, and that I just want to be able to do it and go, and that is the end. That is where I choose to leave or return to. It is that moment with them.
They're gonna be okay, right?
Yes, I know, but we have never been more than 5 miles from each other almost ever. It's
know.
Not since I can remember, at least, so...
I mean, Fitz, none of us have. I mean, how many times have we looked up at the sky? It looks the same as when we were up here last week, but it's not the same. Right?
Just want to kind of add at this point, it is night, and as you do look up sitting on the roof here, while there are some clouds and some sort of it's not fully overcast, and you look up, and this doesn't happen every night, but tonight you're looking up and you see the shimmering colors. Oh, 1 second.
Sorry, my camera was a little
you're
fuzzy.
okay.
I figured it out.
It looks beautiful now.
Did that work? Did I make sure? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, okay, I fixed it. All right. Sorry. So you, as you look up, you see the sort of refraction of lights across the sky that are multicolored and shifting, almost like an aurora borealis of different colors of purples and greens and blues that are faint but there in the sky. And you realize now that you're looking at it and knowing that, kind of trying to see past it, you see now that the lights, part of what make it difficult to see anything beyond where you can. So wherever it's kind of not cloudy and cleared, it's just, you can't really see past those lights.
Gosh, there's so much out there. There's so much that we don't know. I mean, there's not even just looking up, but we're gonna see so much. Who knows who we're gonna meet? Who knows what others know? I'm finding myself overwhelmed at just the possibilities of the questions that we get to ask.
As exciting as it is to be able to discover all of these things, we've also seen how dangerous outside can be. So while we have inquisitive minds, we must work hard to keep them alive.
Fitz, I know I kind of fumbled during the games.
This is not an accusation. I'm not...
No, just a little reflection on my own. I want to recommit myself to this. I promise. I'm gonna have your back. And I know I'm gonna be okay because I know you got mine.
Fitz will, at that note, kind of take his pauldron out of his little knapsack and put it on his shoulder, and he'll show that he's got a couple little like wooden pegs and notches along the side and back, and he says, as long as you have my back, you will always be on it.
Does it fit okay? It doesn't hurt, right? Is it
No,
comfortable? You have full range of movement?
Yeah, I can't say it's field tested, but I put a couple potatoes on it and it was fine.
And what we can do is, as you want to like field test it, so to speak, you wanted to go, Fitz, to break down your stall, right, with Pinto. So y'all could test it out, and continue your conversation as you kind of go over back into town to go break down your stall.
Fitz will be passing the bottle back up from himself to his shoulder, and just say, I'm looking forward to adventure, and I hope we get to see different kinds of places. Not necessarily the same climates. I want to know what it feels like to be cold.
Right. Or like really, really dry? Like, what does that even feel like? How do we know it's even in the summer? It's still humid here. Like, what? Maybe the sky looks different, like 500 miles that way. Who knows?
Fitz, honey.
Yes.
Yeah, Ma. Sorry.
Oh, there you are. I've been looking for you. It's very late, Fitz.
I'm sorry, Mama. It's okay. There's also no reason why Pinto wouldn't address my mom as Mama as well.
Yeah, no, I figured that was. I was just like, yep, that makes sense. I didn't even think of it.
That's good. No, I forgot where we were, and I thought I was like, go to bed, Mom.
Get back inside.
What are you doing to your stall, dear?
Oh,
You worked so hard to put that up.
Fitz will look over at Pinto and kind of just like give him a little nod and say, "Would you give me a moment?"
Of course. Yeah. I scuttle over and I give Mama Took under, like I climb up and I just give her a peck on the cheek, and I say, "Thanks so much. I brought some celery stalks. Ma knows how much you like them. I left them on the counter. I'll see you at the stand, Fitzy."
Sounds good. And Fitz will sort of like idle inside with his mom for a moment, and
So,
sort of stand.
I want to make sure. So I saw y'all have gone over to the stall, and we're starting to break it down. And she has come on over to the stall location looking for you.
Understood.
Yep.
Rewinding then.
Yep. I just remembered that I had one more letter that I needed to write. I'm gonna go around the block. I'm gonna run over to the school. I'll be right back, Fitz, okay?
Sounds good, man.
Okay. I love you, Mama Took under. Goodbye.
And Fitz will start to like slowly take down the awning. And to be fair, there's really not too much pomp and circumstance to this stall. It's kind of a couple of pieces of wood and some flags.
And your mom will like basically be like carrying the celery stalk, like the crate of whatever Pinto had. But what are you breaking this down for?
Well, Mama, since we have won the competition and suddenly become banded together, Mel has tasked the four of us to go outside, both, I guess, ourselves and Roga, and I think I am choosing to go. We leave a little after first light tomorrow.
And
so
Are you continuing to slowly take it down, or are you looking at her when you're saying this?
He will sort of stop at near the end of what he was saying to take her in this moment.
You see that she's sort of stilled like stilled, like she is frozen as she is processing this. You're leaving?
I've been given a task that is as important to the village as the work that we do. And I think this is my opportunity to help people in the before, as opposed to in the end.
You see her sort of stumble for a second and like kind of take a step back and drop the crate.
Fitz will sort of drop all the shit he's holding and motion over to her.
I'm sorry. No, that's... Of course, you're doing... Did you tell your father?
Not yet. Why don't we just sit for a moment? And he'll pull 2 milk crates and plop them down.
Kind of help her sit, and she does so, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Fitz. I'm not trying to."
Do you need a hard candy?
Oh, sweetheart. And she kind of pats you, and she like reaches up to pat you on the cheek. Oh, it's a lot to take in. And when are you leaving?
A little after the morning.
Tomorrow. There's no time. Oh, you're leaving.
What is wrong, Mama?
No, it's just Oh, Fitz. She kind of grabs your hand. Yeah, when you were little, we were so close to losing you. And to think of you not being here is just scary. It's just scary, Johnny. I'm proud of you. I really am. I just won't be there to look after you.
Now it is my turn to look after others. And Fitz will sort of like take his bag and set it down. And when we get home, I will make sure that the pantry and the cellar are stocked. And then I will talk with Papa. And it will be good. I can make a little late night snack. We can all talk. And I can take a bath.
Let me look at you.
And go to sleep.
She kind of shifts her seat a little bit so she can really just like take you in like head on and just kind of like, you really have grown up so much. You really, really have. Oh, I'm so proud of you. And you can tell like her eyes are tearing up, but she's trying to like hold it in. Oh.
It's okay. It's good.
She'll grab both of your hands again. You'll be safe, right? You promise me you'll be safe.
Yes, always. And I have friends now. Multiple friends. And we will keep each other safe.
Okay. All right. Come, let me help you with this, and then we have to tell your father.
Let me help you back home.
Okay. All right. And if you'll allow it, we'll sort of zoom out of this moment, and you do what you need to do. You tell your father, you wrap up with Pinto as well, and as each of you get together, the last things that you need before bed, get all your stuff ready to go early morning, we're gonna go ahead and take a break. Ha ha.
Nice.
Bam.
Y'all, this
Perfect
is
time.
so emotional, so good. Oh man.
Bunch of crybabies.
And they
What
never
a
made it back.
tapestry.
Indeed.
Oh my god, yes. Break from the crying, more like it's true. This is amazing. I think each of you have gotten such a wonderful picture of what it is exactly that you are leaving behind as we set forth, and which we will do so when we come back from break. So stick around. We'll take a quick break, stretch, hydrate, do what you gotta do to take care of yourselves. See you.
Don't hydrate.
Just
Yep.
a little.
Bye, guys.
I'm gonna blast that AC, baby.
And we're back, y'all. Welcome back.
We made it
we
back.
We made it.
No tears.
No, there's like, like all the crying, like we're done with that, right? Like there's just,
Yeah.
I think we
Not
No
ever
more
again.
uwu.
yeah,
No more
I
uwu.
think we got like all the emotional stuff out. There's probably gonna be not anything left for the rest of the show. I don't think we have anything planned, so we're good.
I've never
We
experienced an emotion in my life.
We unfortunately have a rule about crying after session 4, and you're just kicked off the show.
That's true.
That's gonna be really
pressure.
hard because I was gonna make it canon that Fitz just cries the entire time he fights. Not because he's actually scared; it's just a biological
It's just a
reaction.
going.
It's just it's like
When
part
the
of
adrenaline
adrenaline.
spikes, he just starts crying.
You know,
That's my secret, Cap. I'm always crying.
I'm always
I mean,
crying.
for those that watch anime, Demon Slayer, the like mountain guy, he just cries. The mountain Hashima, is that what they call him?
Oh.
Yeah.
I know the oh god, it's been a long time and I don't remember.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Demon Slayer, but I know the anime trope. And
Yeah.
it's very much
Yeah.
that.
He just cries the entire time he's fighting. He's like, it's so beautiful.
Amazing. All right, y'all. Welcome.
Hang on, I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second to see why my dog is crying. I think he needs his
Yes.
food fluffed. He's very particular.
Fluff the food.
Drama queen.
We have a dog like that.
We do. I understand it completely. Amazing. And actually, in fact, she's right here asking for lovies because she gets upset when we stream. She's just like, "Mother, you have been gone for far too long. Pay attention to me."
It was
My-
longer than 30 minutes, and you must repay me.
Yes.
My dog genuinely hates my laptop. I don't know if I've talked about this with y'all, but
No.
like he doesn't care if Anna, sorry, not to dox myself, that my fiance is on like her work laptop or her personal laptop, but the minute I break my laptop out, and I think it's because I got a bunch of like sparkly pickle and Hollis stickers on it and shit,
You think it's that?
he runs away. I don't know.
Maybe
He
it's a
hates
smell
me.
or
He hates
something.
my laptop. Maybe.
I was
Maybe.
gonna say maybe it makes a certain electrical noise, like a frequency.
Maybe.
Oh, I mean, it is a very different model, so that's entirely possible. But
Interesting. You have to experiment
like-
now. Not that let's just buy like 3 different laptops.
Just invite
I-
me to your house.
I
have some
honestly, it can be
serious
powered
tinnitus.
off as soon as I crack the screen.
Interesting.
He like ears pull back
Let's
boy and
diagnose
tries
your
to
dog's
hide in the
psychology.
laundry room. Oh, he came to us very broken. We love him very much.
Yes. Rescues, everybody. Love them, and they add so much to your life, so highly recommend. All right. With that, Nixie girl, I think you have to go to bed and let me jam.
Golem.
Go. Okay.
Golem.
We're back. It is the early morning. Dawn is just cresting over. You don't see the sun right now. Well, it's hard to see it anyways through the haze of the sky, though it is big enough and bright enough that there's sort of like the bright area that is the sun. But over the trees on the edge of the horizon, it is time. You all establish the meetup spot, which we'll say is probably on the edge of the town where you're about to head out. Fitz, you have the twig, correct? I believe.
I certainly do.
Okay. You all have packed your things, hiked them up on your backs wherever you need to. All of these, everything ready to go. Goodbyes said. You gather together in that morning. And unless anybody has anything to say, you begin to head out. And you're welcome to.
Everyone ready?
Perfect.
If anyone gets hungry, I made scones.
I'm not familiar
They
with
are
scones.
exceptionally dry. You said what flavor?
No, I don't know what scones are. So can you be?
It's like a biscuit, only a little more depressing. And it lasts longer as a baked good, so that's why I made them. Yes,
it's a really practical breakfast. Great idea, Fitz.
So they're
We
like
do what we can.
rations.
It's,
a little nicer
like
than
a walking breakfast.
Okay, I would like to try it, please.
He will hand you a scone.
If you are a scone lover, get in the comments.
And for the record, I do enjoy a scone.
I do enjoy
I
a
don't
good
think
like
them
a
being
scone.
very dry is a
Yeah,
bad
pretty good.
thing.
They go with
If you like biscuits more than scones, get in the comments. That's
And also, you're wrong.
nope.
Right. You can
Whoa,
also
what?
leave.
Okay,
Wait, you can't.
guys.
You okay? We take away.
I don't wanna break into
Duval-
food court
Duval's
right now, but we
southernness
can.
forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
give
the
me
Southern
cinnamon
card.
rolls instead. Goodbye. Oh, sweet summer child. Yeah, he'll take a bite of it and just kind of chew it for a bit too long.
Some people have them with butter or jam or something called clotted cream.
Do you have any of those three on you?
I have a little bit of honey and a little bit of butter, but I don't prefer clotted cream.
And this continues as you follow the trail out of Roga. This time, in this the very first moment, I think, as you kind of head out of Roga, although Mel pointed you in the general direction initially, so you know where you're headed out of town. Do you have the twig out, or are you not using it right now?
It is holding my hair up in my little man bun.
Okay, so you perhaps are not going to be able to see this, but anybody else looking towards it, as you all begin, and initially it's not doing anything, but as you are 20 minutes, 30 minutes into this walk, and you're starting to head northwest, as opposed to the northeast. Goodness, I know my directions. As opposed to the southeast that you were earlier with Baron, you head out to the northeast.
I'm pretty sure it's northwest.
No, it's northeast.
Okay, I'll let it go. Yeah, I'll let it go.
Watch me be wrong later. It's okay.
We'll just flip the map. It's fine.
Northwest is up and left. And
I know it's
northeast
north.
is up and right.
I know
It's
that
up and right.
much.
It's up and
It
right.
is north.
Okay, it's up and right. Okay.
And straight on till morning.
Past the second star or whatever. Wait, there's no stars. Crap.
I broke it. I win. I win, Golem.
So you kind of 20 minutes, 30 minutes into this walk, those who are very, very astutely paying attention to the little bud that is on kind of just settled on this twig, it goes from being a very small, closed, little, like, tight bud, and it seems to just grow a tiny bit. It's not opening, it's not just, it seems to just grow ever so slightly bigger, and just even at that, you think, okay, that's the first sign you have that you're headed in the right direction. And you begin your journey. And as you begin this journey, you, like last time, like yesterday technically, enter the edge of the woods. You go from commonly treaded trail through from Roga to the nearby farms, outwards, off trail, into the brush, into the trees, and the sparse trees grow thicker and larger, and soon you find yourselves deep in this jungle. And unlike last time, where you realize, I think, as you continue this trek forward, you realize how close to the edge of the woods you really did find Baron. Because as you continue deeper and deeper into these woods, it grows darker as the canopy closes in above you. Large, looming trees, larger. You've seen these trees from far away for so long, and even when you've trekked into the woods, you've never known the trees to be quite so big as you see them now. It gets a little bit difficult, Pinto, I think, for you to traverse at a certain point when there become roots from these trees as large as you. Hopping onto Fitz, or however you choose to travel, eases that burden a little bit. Things grow quieter and louder at the same time. Things grow muffled as you feel closed in around you. The trees and the canopy sort of silencing the feel of open air. But then the noises of the jungle, of the bugs, the buzzing, sound of trees and leaves rustling grows louder. Each of you, however this interprets to you, have never, well, perhaps outside of one of you, Gerran, have really traversed the deep woods. But here you all are. As we begin sort of what will become exploration mode, as you follow the general line of sight of this twig, which grows from a bud into a small flower, not fully open, but this is over the course of the entire day. So what, in terms of exploration mode, would you like to be doing in this time as you begin to traverse through deep, dangerous jungle?
Gerran, just like per usual, like last time I should say, not per usual, yet, I guess, is just trying to clear a path, slashing his way through the routes you mentioned, and just keeping an eye on things.
Okay. I'll get a survival check from you. And hold on to your roll. I want to know what everybody's rolling.
Fitz would probably also be rolling a survival check. I'd be looking for edible, either whether it's flora or fauna, or I guess I could roll a medicine check if that's more beneficial to try to find like herbs or more alchemical substances so that I could be able to make like healing balms or salves or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, specifically herbs will probably be a nature check.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're looking to make them for specifically medicinal purposes, then you can get away with the medicine check.
I'm gonna rolling medicine then.
Lenora would probably do some kind of like investigation check. She is worried about more plants coming to bite her in the ass.
Same. I was gonna say Pinto is on high alert. He's got his little what's it called? His brass ear sticking back out. He's just listening for any disturbances in the woods.
Okay. So there'll be perception checks from the two of you.
Mm-hmm. Perception is +4.
A question, James, before getting the numbers. With this particular check, can I subsist as well, or is it really just focused on what I'm already doing?
Subsist. What was?
Yeah, subsist is the providing like food and like shelter and stuff like that.
Oh,
Like if I had to choose one or the other, that's fine. I just wanted to ask.
No, technically exploration mode is hour by hour, right? So I would say you don't have to do that. Like we can do that secondary if you like. What do you think, Waffles?
Yeah, we're not gonna roll like all 8 hours because that just gets kind of boring. So eventually you would subsist and boom.
Okay, cool, fair enough. So okay, all together. In that case, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, let me know what you got.
That's a 23 on perception for me.
Let's go.
Nice.
Gerran is comfortable in this space. 24 survival.
Okay.
He's home.
17 plus 5 on my perception check. 22.
Let's go. 22, 23,
Mac?
24.
Oh, your boy rolled a 14. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, a little out of my element, but you know, I'm like, that looks like cilantro. That looks like cilantro. Sorry.
That's also cilantro.
This looks like another cilantro.
There's a lot of
over there.
cilantro here.
So many varieties of cilantro.
Actually, that's
from
sage.
your family and from your moms, you're like, nope.
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 Not cilantro.
At one point, you do take this whole thing. Like, you take Fitz's hand away from like what's like clearly poison oak. Like, no. No.
I have a 0 nature though, so like whatever I got from like my mom's, I did not get from the non-biological one, and we're gonna assume that she is the one who's good at herbs.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, perfect. So, basically, what I would like to do for each of these checks, I know exploration mode is hour by hour. I think, like Waffles said, like that's be way too much for doing this. So for now, let's do like the first half of like the day of your trekking or something like that. So I think based on the survival from Gerran, makes the trip, this is deep jungle, it's not easy by any means, but by far a lot more comfortable than it would otherwise be, thanks to Gerran leading like a path for you all to go through.
It's a hard hike instead of like a war path, you know.
Yeah. Fitz with the 14 Waffles, what is he able to find?
I'd say he's able to find like the beginning remnants of creating like a elixir of life. So like because it doesn't.
Okay, like a third of the
Say it,
ingredients
yeah.
or like half the ingredients?
Basically, yeah.
Okay, you're starting to gather
Sweet.
ingredients. Lenora and Pinto, 23 and 22. Looking out for danger along the way helps a lot. Gerran is focused on clearing the path for you, so being able to sort of together, like, oh, careful, so basically I think at this point, there was right nearby, you see like ahead and to the right, this like massive snake that's like looped around a low-hanging branch that you're able to go, let's go around that, let's not go near that. Lenora, see, what was it, you did perception, so at certain points you see, you get to a certain area where there are some like claw marks on trees that concern you a little bit, and so you loop around to kind of avoid whatever potentially is hunting in that area. Together you're sort of able to carefully avoid the majority of the dangers that are immediately in your way. Halfway through the day, even though the canopy is dense, suddenly like large looming darkness covers you all. And I will say with the, 23 from Lenora, you're the first to freeze the group. And you look up, and a large shadow of a bird, like, you see the scale of the trees and you see the size of whatever the shadow must be. You know this is not something you want to mess with. And you stop the entire group, holding off until the loud sort of thunder of wings flies off, raining like leaf and like all sorts of like twigs and stuff down on all of you all. That passes as well. You feel the risk and the air of tense across this entire space as you travel. But yet, even though you all are focused on this, there is room to. I think at this stage you're still a little uncomfortable. You're on high alert. You're not yet sort of fully getting into things. So at this point, let's do the second half of the day. So that narrowly avoided. Maybe this is the point where everybody like takes a quick breather. You're like, okay, that was fucking scary as shit. You take a breather. Put down your packs for a second. Drink, eat. Is there anything anybody needs to interact before we move on to the second half? Just want to give you plenty of pockets of time. I don't want to take over.
Sort of reading the proverbial room, as like he doesn't say anything, but he's seen something a little bigger than that.
This was massive, actually. I don't know if you've this was kind of up there. It was up there.
Tag game. Fair enough. I am curious culturally, while we're taking a bit of a break, do you all have rituals around the fires at night before, heading to bed, or around particular celebrations?
Pinto breaks out his ukulele. I have been known to play a tune or two around the fire, especially on those learn journeys, but I don't think that's the cultural norm.
Sharing food and telling stories, but that making sure you put the fire out before you go to sleep.
No.
Yeah, as you kind of see, I mean, as we're kind of a melting pot here in Roga, and everyone's individuality is kind of accepted. So, however, let me ask you, what do you usually do on a night out?
Well, it depends on if it is for celebration. Celebration, certainly music and storytelling are central, for sure. Typically with a mix of flutes and hand drums and rhythmic clapping, spirits, both of the alcohol persuasion and our spirits being high.
Have you traveled with others before?
Plenty. My family is quite nomadic. I've actually never stayed longer in one place than I have Roga these last several weeks.
Wow. How much you must have seen.
Sorry, are we around a fire right now, or are we still like walking?
Not yet. This is you've taken you're pausing about.
Snack
you've done
break.
a half day of travel.
Yeah. He's just
Great.
asking about it because
It's like
that's
2
what he thinks
p.m.
about. Yeah.
Okay, so the sky is now clear again after Weird Big Bird?
Yep.
Okay. So if I were to, for example, try and cast Detect Magic, there would be no Weird Big Bird for me to detect upon?
So Detect Magic is sort of like an aura around you kind of a thing. I think there's like a certain distance around you. So you're welcome to see, like, if you want.
Does it, like, must be traveling no more than 150 feet? Yeah, fuck it. I'm, like, a little shook by the giant bird. I guess nobody perceived it as much as me. So,
I mean, you were the first to point it out. It definitely got dark, and you were like, look up, guys.
And we're all just fine with that? We're all just fine with giant bird so big it blots out the sun?
You know it's dangerous out here, so...
You're right. I wish I got a feather. Man, that would have been cool to bring back.
When you are in nature's house, you cannot get upset when nature shows up.
That's actually pretty wise.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
Hell yeah.
Do I get any advantage on that?
Advantage on birds.
So
Bird
I don't believe
what
it's
is the
necessarily
modifier?
a roll.
Isn't it? Okay.
Right, well.
Nah, Detect Magic just happens.
Just happens. Great. So just do it then.
Yeah. You just cast it. It's also a valid exploration mode move
Yeah.
to detect magic the entire time.
Yeah, so it's a 30-foot emanation from you, basically. So within 30 feet around you, you're kind of send out a pulse to register the presence of magic. Unlike D&D, right, in this case you receive no information beyond the presence or absence of magic. When it's heightened, when you're higher level, there you can do some more stuff. But that's the basics of it. So you send out a pulse 30 feet around you. Aside from the whatever magical items you all have on you, the only thing of note in the immediate is that you do get a glow of magic around the wonderfully decorative hairpiece that is in Fitz's hair right now. The twig and the bud. Which makes sense.
Did you say the twig
Yeah.
in the butt?
Yeah, definitely what I said.
Okay.
Two big T's.
Filthy.
It's thick.
Oh no, not two C's.
How'd you know the name of George R.R. Martin's last novel?
But aside from that, no, nothing else seems to detect.
Okay.
Okay.
Never mind.
You all eventually pick up your things and continue. Let's, I mean, I'm assuming generally continuing the same way, but let's do another roll to see how smooth
Another
the
one.
journey is. You can change it if you want to do something else. You just let me know.
I'm gonna turn my eye towards survival instead this time.
Perfect.
I crit, baby. Let's go.
Nat 20? Let's go.
Yarp.
Yeah, I'll make another perception roll. I'm gonna keep an eye out specifically for threats.
Okay. And what about you, Lenora?
It wouldn't. I mean, now that I've already done detect magic, I can't do like an Arcana check, can I?
So do
Would
you
that be
want to
different?
sort of like keep an eye out for magic?
Keep an eye out for magic.
You
yeah.
can, like Waffles said, you can basically do detect magic as an exploration, which means that like every little bit you're just kind of pinging it out, keeping your eyes out on the magical variety.
There's nothing else I think that would be really useful for me other than perhaps also a perception check. Just keep perceiving shit.
Yeah, Waffles, do you want that? Do you want a no roll or do you want an additional perception roll for roll E6?
I mean, if you're doing detect magic, it should be a no roll for sure. But if you want to keep an eye out, then you can Arcana or perception check. Really,
I'll
your
do it.
call.
I'll do another perception check. Why not? Fuck it.
Bogie.
And
I
that's a
rolled an
20.
Oh, nice.
So 16 plus 4.
18 for me.
Ooh, I haven't had a
I
good
haven't
sheesh
rolled.
in a while.
I haven't rolled less than a 20. At
16.
all.
Now that you said that.
Don't see. Fuck.
Putting Kanahara on all this. Great.
Not one city after this.
What about Fitz's survival?
That's gonna be 16.
Let's go. Two better.
Yes. Upgrade.
Okay, I love this. What this does, I will say, between Fitz and Gerran together doing some survival stuff, almost basically assisting the other, will sort of let that double up on itself. So together,
Really glad I could help you out.
Could have done it without you, buddy.
what it
I know
allows
that.
for is actually a little bit interesting. So, Lenora Gibbles, you're continuing to keep an eye out, and successfully so. You're making sure that similarly, just like before, you're avoiding dangers. Like when Lenora's to the left, Pinto's to the right. You guys are making sure that you are directing sort of this, and it's actually, I think, looking at this, 18, 16, 20, natural 20. You are all falling into a nice rhythm of working together. Whatever that looks like in terms of communication, you know, I'm not going to say Lenora here is talking about, like, I'm going to let each of you do what that means to you. But in terms of your actions, you are falling into a nice rhythm. Did I say that? Oh.
Yes, you did.
Did I?
You said Lenora Gibbles, and I was
Gibbles
like,
instead
I
of
think she meant
Pinto?
Pinto.
Yeah,
Yes,
Lenora.
you did. So I was like, that's perfect.
Well,
I totally went with it.
all right, my bad. I don't know where that. What did I read that? Okay. Because of Waffles, he wrote Gibbles instead of Pinto, and I read that. I was like, where did I?
There you go.
Usually with like my ADHD, if
As
I'm like
always,
processing
it's
so
his
fast,
fault.
if I see something in passing, it kind of just gets
Yep.
absorbed.
ADHD perfect. Yep.
She would never take someone's. All right. So you do fall into a neat little rhythm of working together. It's been a long and I don't know how active versus sedentary your lifestyles have been, but you are walking through difficult terrain and dense jungle for better part of a day now. As you get close to it's not yet time to make camp, but you're going to want to start thinking about it real soon. Natural 20, Gerran. Thanks to Fitz's help of kind of taking care of also kind of cutting through some things, and you're able to turn your eyes a little bit to some of your surroundings. Avoiding another kind of patch of tracks and things like that Pinto kind of saw. You go around again, following the bud at this point. Has grown to about the size of like 2.5 inches, and it's layered, and then its petals are kind of beginning to like separate a little bit. It seems to be, as it loosens up from within it, you see just a gentle glow. Not enough to cast light, but it seems just kind of, it opens up just enough that you're able to start seeing between the petals. But that's not what you're paying attention to, Gerran, because as you're cutting through and avoiding, you notice a shift in the landscape. Two very important things. First of all, terrain is getting a little rockier. The trees are still thick and it is heavy jungle, but there's rocks and boulders along your way kind of jutting out from the underbrush, and you're just noticing the terrain shifting and going a little like hillier, like it's like going a little up and down sometimes. Which tracks, because you also know just from terrain in general, the direction you're heading to is closer to the mountain range. But you continue. When you see something with your natural 20 that is unnatural and juts out like a sore thumb. Because over there, just a little bit of ways, is a, for lack of a better word, like a triangle structure of some kind that seems to be slanted and just jutting out of the ground. It's a little bit of ways that way.
He'll kind of stop everyone. Is anyone familiar with the strange structure over there? Looks like a strange jutted out triangle.
Yes, I am familiar with triangles.
What about that particular triangle?
No, not that one in particular.
Oh, that is intriguing. Let me take a look.
Well, be careful. Also, Fitz, does our your flower thing do anything in regards to that?
Fitz will take it out and look and go, I'm not sure, and we'll start waving it towards the triangle.
In the hair sometimes.
It is not reacting in any particular way.
No, I don't think it does.
Is Lenora's detect magic picking anything up on it?
So if you would like to approach to get within 30 feet to be able to do so, you're welcome to. So you guys start getting closer.
Will it eat me if I'm within 30 feet?
Yes, this triangle.
As
I don't
here, with your
know.
20 perception and with Pinto helping with the 18, as you guys slowly, carefully approach, what you see is basically a concrete slab. Large. As you get approaching it, you kind of see it looks to be, it's like slanted. Majority of it is definitely buried deep within the ground, and you're seeing just sort of like a corner angled up, sticking out of the ground. And as you approach, kind of go around a little bit to get a better eyesight from the angle that it's in, and you see cracked and fading. So it's like a gray slab. There's some metal jutting out, and what you can assume was once had some glass parts to it that is long since gone. And then on the surface of what little you could see seems to be part of a circle that is painted onto this concrete slab.
Does it remind me of anything I've seen in ruins?
Well, it reminds you of a ruin. This seems to be some remnant of a time long past. This is
Pinto.
made out of...
That's what he says.
What'd you say?
It just says Pinto's name. That's it.
On it. I'm going to study this structure and try to ascertain what its function, what its purpose may have been.
Ooh, that's gonna be real fun. Why don't whoever's trying to figure that out and like identify, so to speak, like what this structure could have been? What do you think, Waffles? Society?
I was going to say a perception check at a -6.
Not society?
Hot dog. You don't think like a?
I
maybe
don't
a
think so, because I've never
crafting?
heard about this.
Right. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like you're trying to put together something you've never, like you're seeing the tip of a pyramid for people who have never seen pyramids in Egypt, like
So why? How the hell would I know what it's for? Yeah.
basically.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
So everyone can. I just think it's a perception
You
check.
said
of
a perception
-6.
check -6.
My sex, sure.
Yeah, and
Before
just so everyone's on the up and up, I think it's like as the campaign goes on, that minus is going to go down, and you'll even get pluses to it and stuff.
So, question: if my perception modifier is a +4, does that just mean like 20 -2, or is it
Yes.
like okay?
And so here's what I will say for things like this. This is when natural 20s and things like that. So just a reminder, when you're at a major disadvantage and things like that, with Pathfinder, criticals are on a scale. There's a critical failure, regular success, critical success. And so let's say this is a ridiculous DC that you don't think you could ever get, but if you do a natural 20, it might take you from a failure to a regular success, and there's still ways to kind of overcome that, which I think that's why I like Pathfinder. But yes, Lenora.
Before anyone rolls,
You're in fucking Lenora now.
Rex!
after you.
No, I'm just playing. I before anybody rolls, I already did, and I got a 3 -2. That's a 1, baby. That's a dirty 1.
Perfect. But yes, before everybody but Bella rolls, what's up?
I'm gonna cast a cantrip. I'm gonna pull out my ukulele. This is a little inspiring song that sometimes me and the prelims sing before facing adversity. And as he's strumming, little magical sparks of light are hitting the strings, and each of these sparks kind of float around to your chest and just dissolve. And as they sing, "You can do it, just put your heart into it."
And everybody's just thinking really hard. You know what?
And so what
Lenora,
I've
this
cast,
probably distracts you further.
Yeah, I'm very
That's why.
confused at this point.
I've just cast Infectious Enthusiasm.
Oh, great spell choice.
So with Enchanted Gusto, you encourage yourself to get things done and share your motivation with your allies. You gain a +1 status bonus to your choice of attack rolls, will saves, or charisma. I don't
Charisma-based
think
skill
this thing
check.
Yep,
helps us
but
all,
it's
does it?
Nope.
not numbers wise. But
You tried.
You tried, but
you
you know
did
what?
that.
You know what? This is the best. Pinto is trying, and it's like, oh, I can do this. And then you realize you're trying to encourage something, but nobody is like doing anything. Everybody's just standing around, like, looking at this structure.
Don't feel bad. I did the same thing with that spell last campaign. Don't feel bad.
I want you all to
Alright,
get
well.
comfortable with your spells and learn
Yes.
them. I love this. This is fantastic.
It's great. I love it.
It's good.
It's
Maybe something pops up in the next 6 seconds.
Who knows?
Because
It's
that's how long it's gonna last.
It's probably what would happen if Pinto was on a new adventure.
That's true.
The power of friendship.
Totally. Yep.
All right, what
Yep.
is everybody else's rolls?
With the negative, it's actually still a 17.
17.
So I rolled an 8 plus my 5 proficiency is 13 minus 6 is a 7.
Okay.
That's gonna be a 14 from me.
Would anybody like to use their hero point?
Is that to
Not for this.
re-roll or just to buff it up?
Re-roll and take the
Reroll.
new roll regardless of what it is.
And that's why
I mean-
I'm not taking it.
Do we have a lot of time left to use our hero point?
Well, you
never know.
You never know. And you do get one every session unless, like, you start with one every session unless we're in the middle of combat.
Right.
So
Right.
you have to
right,
really
right,
think,
right,
do
right.
you think you're going to need it for the rest of the session?
Just remember,
mean,
and this
we're-
is what I want to say this very explicitly. Hero points are the only thing that can for sure save you from death.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. But it's like, what do we have, like half an hour left? Am I going to die?
Maybe.
No
Why'd you
comment.
say
You probably have multiple days left in this jungle. So.
And you also have more nat ones to roll because of what you said earlier.
I mean, this is just like a little structure.
I
It's
got a
probably
listen.
not-
I got an unnatural one,
It's
which
true.
I feel like is almost worse than a natural one.
Impressive.
Kind of is impressive.
I
yeah.
like to
Like,
always
what
tease
the
and
fuck?
get people to question whether or not they need to use the hero point. That's just my
You know
joy
what?
as a GM.
Hey, I'll put it to a vote. Team, should I use this hero point to redeem me from my natural one? Not for my
Right,
unnatural
unnatural.
one.
Who got the highest roll out of all of us?
Yeah.
Me,
Duval.
Wait, what'd you
It was
get?
a 17.
Oh, I feel like the DC on this is super
And that was with
high.
a natural. That's with a natural 18 on the dice.
Okay, yeah, no, forget it. Forget it.
I think mathematically you should not. You'd have to
Yeah.
roll a 19 to even tie his roll.
No, yeah, that's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
It's literally just going for a
Yeah.
nat 20. That's really all you'd be doing.
Yeah.
No, forget
But
it.
it'd be
forget
fun
it.
if you got a nat 20.
It'd be fun, but like,
if you
what
didn't have
wouldn't it,
a hero
though?
left.
It'd be really funny if you got a nat one though.
100% of gamblers stop before they hit it big, you know?
Okay.
It would be almost funnier if I got a 2, because then -2 would be a negative 1.
That would be fantastic.
Or like a
What
0.
even happens
like,
when you go into the negatives?
So this seems
We'll have
like
to see.
some
You die
large-
from thinking about it.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll go with Gerran here as the 17. The most you're able to glean is this looks like it's large. You can kind of get a gist of how, if you're seeing just a corner of like how much of this is buried underground, it's probably at a tilt of like a couple degrees, and so this is like sticking out at this point. It's pretty large, like very large. You can imagine that it was once meant to be flat. That's really it. That's about all you can get. So you don't know what this structure
Cool.
was for. But for each of you who maybe have never left Roga before and never seen a lot of things like this, this is the first structure of an age past that you have encountered before. It seems that they do exist in the woods, in the jungle at some point, so interesting.
Pinto's made a little rough sketch of this in his notebook.
Hell yeah.
With a bit of a concerned look on his face, he is going to go over to the nearest tree and sort of mark it with his sword, and essentially put like his initials and a triangle on it.
Okay.
The tree spins and hits you with lashes and vines. No, I'm kidding.
No, he's joking. I saw the look.
I'm kidding.
I was like, Waffles, again, you come for me. It's
Would
two
it
campaigns.
be would it be at all helpful for me to try to identify alchemy? in
Nah.
crafting? No.
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 I think
Okay.
what we'll let
That-
you kind of gather is what the thing that's kind of like on it, the big circle, like you managed to scrape through some layers of dirt and identify that it's like paint, like that this was long paint.
Yeah,
Very old.
Gerran comes back and he says, "It's possible that we'll find more of these on our travels, so we can perhaps maybe cross-reference to what we learn later."
You've run into a lot of these structures?
Not a lot, but it's not familiar to me, but it is similar to what I've experienced before, at least once.
That is so cool!
And this one is much less dangerous than the last time I found one.
This doesn't seem like a
Dangerous.
building you can enter. For
Dangerous. Why?
What did Lenora say?
Dangerous. Why? Why dangerous?
There are some areas that are, just by the very nature of them and their age, things that you've never seen before, that decided to make them home. And they're not nice.
And this does track, Lenora, with what a lot of you have heard from Roga, which is why scavenging is not allowed.
Right. So it's not worth it to do a little search around the thing. We're just sticking with its paint, and that's it.
That's kind of what the perception checks and stuff were.
Okay,
It was
'cause I see
that,
search.
like y'all.
Specifically,
y'all.
you seek
Yep.
meticulously for hidden doors, concealed hazards, and so on.
Yeah, I mean, like since this is exploration mode, like y'all probably spent like an hour around here
Okay.
with those rolls, and so like y'all have been looking for hidden doors and all kinds
All right,
of stuff.
just making sure, just covering all my bases.
Yes.
For sure.
We failed. We didn't get this one.
Whatever. Hey, we
I
didn't
love the
fail.
enthusiasm.
I failed spectacularly. Give a little credit for my unnatural one.
So from this area, you mark it how you wish, and you eventually leave it behind as you continue. And I believe at this point it is time for night to fall and your first camp. So let us make some... I'm trying to think timing wise and things like that. So the first night, do you want to... I'm assuming you're doing watches. Unless you want
No, it's perfectly safe here. We're
perfectly
going to go
safe.
right to bed.
Everyone just wants to
Everybody
go sleep
sleep
together.
at the same time. Cuddle puddle.
Yep.
Waffles. How many would you like? Do you want to do 2, 3? I forget.
I enjoyed 2, especially with the group before. It'll be 2 and 2 basically. So like one watch, second watch.
Okay. So what 2 people would like to take first watch?
Gerran will volunteer to take, and he'll actually say, whichever you don't want. I'm really used to it. The most inconvenient one I'm happy to take.
Lenora will go with Gerran. She doesn't want to have to deal with anybody talking too much right now.
What a mood.
It's
like it's nighttime. Go to sleep.
The 2 of you, please make me perception checks.
Okie dokie.
God dang it. Just a standard good old fashioned.
Just a good
With a-
old-fashioned perception.
Okay, well that's a 10, so we're improving.
Dirty 20 for me.
6 plus 4.
Okay. The forest, the jungle is not quiet at night. In fact, if anything, it's louder. The buzzing of insects that come out. But in addition, as you settle down, and do you guys do a fire?
You would insist.
We could have a toasty little fire.
Okay. The light of the fire.
That is so cool.
That's nice. That's pretty sick.
I fucking love pocket party. Alright. The sounds of the fire envelop you in this quiet. Quiet, again, through the cacophony of the buzzing and the bugs, and it takes you a second to notice, but Gerran, you see it first, flashes of light around. You know what these are because you've seen them before. These beetles that glow, flash beetles. They are small creatures, but compared to beetles, like small is like the size of Pinto, mind you, so they're rather large beetles. You see one on the branch above you as it seems to flutter its wings and its insides glow and fade. Glow and fade, and you see more of these come out as they seem to be curious as to what this other light source is in the midst of this jungle. But you know these, and you know that you don't bother them, they won't bother you as much. And
he'll share that with Lenora.
You guys get to just watch as the night in the jungle comes to life. But your first watch passes peacefully.
Lenora likes the little bugs.
With that, second watch.
Second, first, same as first.
Let's go. Perception?
Perception.
We.
19 plus 5, 24.
Okay, damn.
Nice.
And that's gonna be 12, half his roll.
Nice.
What a team.
One of
Yin
them's
and
half the
yang
size,
over
the
here.
other one's half the roll.
There it is.
Pinto, at one point, one of these beetles comes a little bit too close. And you're like,
Hey there, buddy.
yeah, and you kind of reach out to it, which actually kind of like scares it, like frightens it for a second. And what you notice is the light that usually kind of glows and fades that you've kind of been watching for a little bit now throughout the second watch, as it kind of comes close, kind of almost reach out to you. Hey, buddy. The sound of your voice kind of shattering the moment it turns around and it flashes a bright, blinding light that leaves the both of you dazed for like a couple seconds. And by the time you can regain your vision, it's gone. And you're nervous and on edge for a hot second because you just dazzling bright light that just kind of like burst in, and you're kind of like. So then the next sort of like 30 minutes to an hour of your watch is on a little bit like high alert.
You just got flashbanged.
Yeah, basically.
Greet the Beatles.
Seem to be okay. There's plenty of sound in the brush and things like that that make it a little bit hard to like not to completely relax, especially your first night out in like the deep jungle. Seems to be okay. Passes altogether safely. Okay. First night in the woods passed successfully. About halfway through your journey at this point, the little flower is beginning to open, its petals beginning to unfold. That's actually probably something that you noticed last night, Fitz, that there was a slight glow coming from your head as it begins to open up. It seems to be kind of glowing from within the center. Softly.
Fitz will like fix it to his lapel, almost like a little prom corsage. Yeah, a little brooch action. Just so he can see it now.
Perfect. And you will continue. Overall, what I will do for time's sake here is much of the next day will go like the first. And little things, like maybe you do have to fight a little thing every once in a while. Nothing major to the point that we're going to go into initiative. You're sort of like defending
Skirmish
and
here.
Yeah, little skirmishes. Maybe there is one like weird little lizard creature that kind of comes running at you and you're like, okay, let's not, and you kind of have to scare it off or put it down.
Light a torch, wave back a wolf, all that good stuff.
Yep, things like that.
Classic low-level adventuring.
Yeah. So I don't want, even though we're kind of zooming out, I don't want it to feel like, oh, easy peasy. There's high tension moments. There is a lot going on. But at this point, you have gone nearly 2 days of traversing through jungle. Tension is high, but you're also, like I said, getting into a rhythm together. We're getting towards, let's say, the evening of night 2. At this point, the flower is mostly unfurled. The glow is brighter, but it is clear that it is not in full bloom, but it is quite like, you'd feel almost like 75% or something. Like it's more than it has been this whole time. And it is a beautiful flower. The glow inside is a light pink, and you see little tendrils of like, I forgive my plant biology, a pistil or a staple, I forget what they're all called.
Stamen.
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 Thank you.
Not the staple.
Sponsored by
the plant staple.
The stamen kind of like gently blowing in the wind with the little lights at the end that glow with the inside of it, and it is this just gorgeous, beautiful, entrancing little flower that seems to be beginning to bloom. As we continue, I will say, if there's anything anybody needs to focus on or you want to have said, like, traverse throughout this entire time, like, feel free to say, at some point I did this, at some point I did that, before we settle down for night 2. I just want to give you all the platform back.
Yeah.
It's been a good 10 hours, you know?
Yeah, it's been a lot.
Yeah. Something that he might share during the night, but nothing during the trek, so to speak.
As you're kind of settling down for night 2? Okay.
Yep.
Does the blooming bud bear any resemblance to the flower emblem that I saw, that I caught for that briefest of glimpses, emerging
Fitz.
from Fitz's hand when he laid on hands?
Perception, Waffles, or religion?
Yes.
Perception or religion?
Both have different answers, but I think you can make both checks.
And Fitz, this is relevant to you too, so you're welcome.
Yeah, I was definitely gonna. I'll do one if you want to do the other, man.
And could I convince you to maybe make it an Arcana roll? Because the fire emblem, the flower emblem, was indicative of magic, and I'm.
And he's a magic man.
Do you need somebody to make a religion check?
No, I was gonna do the religion. I've got my religion and perception are the same, so it doesn't really matter.
All right, I'll do perception. Unless Waffles is still mulling it over.
Yep, that's good.
No,
Not at all. All right, perception it is.
I am
then.
ready.
It's a 19.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to use my hero point because that's a natural 1. Is what that
Kill him.
is.
Kill him.
One down.
Okay, that's better. 23. 18 plus 5.
Hey, let's go.
What a good thing to use your last roll on,
Yeah.
ever.
All right, so you had the perception.
That's not cool, man.
A boulder falls from the sky.
I love it so much. The stress. So 25 perception,
Sweat.
and then Fitz did religion.
Yeah, 19 on religion.
You bring this up, Pinto, to Fitz as you're kind of both taking a second to look, and let's bring it to like when you're getting ready to make camp for the night, and you're kind of staring at it and trying to, problem being, remember what the other one looked like. With that perception, you remember pretty well. It's not the same flower. It's not the same flower. But, you know, something about it made you think that. Made you look and made you wonder if there was that similarity. Does that make sense?
Yeah, is there a correlation? Is there? Man, would it be possible? Well, so I've now. Could it be possible for me to have made a detailed sketch of the flower of the bud in full bloom?
Yep, sure.
So at least I have that.
It's
for the next
almost
time.
It's not in full bloom yet, but yeah, I mean you can piece it together well enough. And Fitz, with your religion check, I think what you feel from a perspective of like kind of tuning into your magic and tuning into some of what you felt, kind of you're kind of convinced it's not the same. It doesn't look the same. It doesn't feel the same. You don't think it's the same. Pinto is a little convinced there's a relation, but you don't think so.
What kind of, like, I guess, religious vibe am I pulling off of this thing? Like, if it's not the same energy, how does it feel different?
I will let you spend a portion of your... Okay.
Yeah, let me attune with this bad boy.
Do you want to spend a portion of your night watch time studying this flower instead?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. Perfect. I would like another religion check.
Okay. I'm gonna use a hero point.
Okay. 2 down.
Kill him.
That's gonna be a 24.
Hey!
Fuck yeah.
I want you to keep this, and I want you to remind me when we're going through the night watches, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, we're settling down for the night at this point, so I know that Gerran had something. Lenora, do you have anything?
From what?
If there's any, just like in the
Not
time
off
that
the
has
top of my-
passed in the second day, if there's anything that you wanted to call out or have done or do now.
No, not that I. No.
Okay.
No. I just got fixated on the little flower situation. I forgot
Yeah.
what else we were
Totally
doing.
fair.
Yeah. All right, Gerran, what's happening with you?
It's the key item in the RPG. You know, like when is it gonna open? Click it, open it. Before we all settle down, is he whoever sort of creates the fire? We were talking about culture the other day, and being that we will be together for a while, I wanted to share something with all of you, if you don't mind. I don't drink alcohol very often. It's quite rare, actually. Typically, we save it for celebrations. But considering what we're trying to do, I thought it might be appropriate. And he goes into his pack and takes out this berry meat.
I heard berry meat, and I was like,
I did too.
Yeah.
Yum.
This blackberry meat, yo. And he kind of has like these like small cups, and unless anyone doesn't wish to, no pressure, either way.
I'm gonna have very little.
That's okay.
Because I've got it's unsurprisingly a very low tolerance.
No, that's all right. I wish to share this with you all. We don't have to finish it tonight, but I do have one condition, though. We have a tradition amongst my family, and it's called the last sip. And he starts to pour it out in cups and hand it to everyone. We always leave one sip for someone not at the fire, whether it's someone gone or someone not here yet, someone lost. But we always drink the rest together.
You all cheers?
Fitz will lift his glass and say, "To those that are not sitting at the fire tonight."
Agreed.
Thanks for sharing this, Gerran.
Sure.
Yeah. One hand up.
It's actually pretty similar to what we all say back home. Typically, it goes something like, to the road before us, to the sky above us, and the ones who walk beside us, seen or unseen.
Lenora starts looking around her to see if there's anybody unseen.
Quick detect magic. No.
So you're just gonna waste some of the nice mead?
It's not wasting.
Can I have it?
No.
Well, that's too bad. I'll drink the rest, I guess.
I think
Lenora,
you
I will say,
misunderstand
Lenora does not get drunk easily.
It's
I
I
have
think all of
decided.
y'all are kind of just taking like one little bit.
Sure, but I have decided, I mean, if I'm allowed to decide this, that because number one, she's tall, and number two, she's half devil,
I see.
there's more of her.
I will. So
There's more
there
of
is
her.
technically rules where it is sort of based on your constitution, I think, but I will.
Oh, is it Constitution?
It's sort of, but for now, we'll just
it's
say like
+1.
up until now, Lenora.
She's never had a problem.
There you go.
She's
Perfect.
she just treats it like it's a yummy juice.
All right. So you all cheers and learn a little bit more about Gerran's traditions and where he comes from. And as you settle on in, who's taking first watch? Same deal? We can do the same deal if you want.
We can do the same.
Sure.
Same.
It worked the first time.
The first two then, can I have perception checks?
Go. That's a 13.
16 for me.
Okay. First half of the night, you hear some like rustling in the brush. I want to say bushes and brush at the same time, and that did not work.
It sounded like it. Yep.
Brush is a technical outdoorsy word.
Yeah, but I tried to say them together and it didn't work. And you know, it kind of like worries you for a second, but it seems to kind of trail off away from you, and you're like, okay, it doesn't seem to be coming at us. There's those moments, and then the the flash beetles and everything are still around. Okay. But with that, sorry, 1 second. And with that, the first half of the night comes off without a hitch. All in all. Second shift, you're up.
Do you want me to roll something? Do you want me to roll a perception as well on top of what I've rolled?
Nope. You're going to be doing kind of focusing on the religion.
Fantastic.
12 with my modifier.
Do you want to use your hero point that you don't have? Sorry, I'm here to antagonize the players.
Cool,
I'm sorry.
cool.
That is perfect.
Can he get an advantage reroll since I'm assisting him doing other stuff?
Yeah, he can. Minus 20 though.
Yikes.
So
Roll
you're
that
saying
20,
there's
sucker.
a chance.
All right, so let's kind of dial back into the, what was it that you rolled, 21 for your religion?
24.
24. Even better. Pinto, you're trying to keep watch here, but your curiosity too makes it a little bit difficult. And you can't help but kind of like glance back, and you're trying not to disturb him by like talking too much, and everyone's sleeping, and so it's just like every once in a while you'll whisper, but after a little bit, as time's passing in the second watch, what we're gonna do, Fitz, is the equivalent of spending time with this magical item, right? And with that religion check, trying to identify a little bit the magic item. This is a very unique magic item, clearly. But you start lulling into this cadence as you kind of stare at the glowing lights as it kind of waves in the air. And you just focus and get drawn in. And slowly, as you try to tune whatever magic is in your body with the magic of this flower, you feel a sort of resonance. You feel a sort of matching frequency. And from that, what you are able to determine is that the magic from this branch and flower is divine magic. It's not your magic, but just like your magic is divine, this seems to be divine as well. And that is something. However, as you turn to look, Pinto, at Fitz, who's at this point kind of like just been sitting there, like staring like really close at this flower for quite a while, you're like trying to see like, okay, is he okay? And you're like gonna try to bother him. All of this putting together that you don't hear the sound of the brush coming. And then, in fact, actually, now that you suddenly start hearing a little noise and like a snort almost of some animal, you turn around and you realize that as this thing, whatever it is approaching, is like shaking the ground a little bit with its approach, and out from the brush around this little area that you have sort of emerged is this large wild boar, tusks out, eyes wide, snorting frantically as it charges out from the brush into this little area. You did not, because of everything that happened, kind of catch it before it got here. As it sees you all, it is like snorting and huffing, and it kind of like registers that there's this bunch of things here. And I will say, I will give you like 1 round here, just Pinto and Fitz, to do whatever you need to do to wake your friends and at least prepare yourselves.
You're muted,
One
bud.
round with like the regular action economy.
I'll let you
Or
have
we could
1
do,
round
like,
with
one
regular action
thing.
economy. And you know what I'll do as well? Bring y'all on a little map.
Yeah.
I thought you might.
Let's bring you this, and it's not here. Let's
This
bring
music
you
things makes me think I'm
all-
playing Kingdom Hearts. I'm so down for that.
I know what I'm doing, Mac.
Great. Yeah, I'm pretty set too.
What was that Waffle said earlier about a giant map?
That's me.
I will, for right now, I'm
Ooh, that's a big map.
I will just bring you all out here. Don't worry about where you are. Just for now, tell me what you're doing.
I'm asleep.
For those
Yeah,
that
sleeping.
care at all.
Get my hunk shoes in.
You made this map?
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Okay. I'm gonna quell on that later. Let's let's do something. Pinto, very slowly takes out his wand, and the tip illuminates, and he brings the wand to Fitz's shield. He draws a small runic symbol on it, and he is in fact casting runic weapon on Fitz's shield.
Ooh, okay.
And what great tell does runic weapon do?
I'm so glad you asked, Mac. Runic weapon. The weapon glimmers with magic as temporary runes carved down its length. The target becomes a +1 striking weapon, gaining a +1 item bonus to attack rolls and increasing the number of weapon damage dice to 2.
So basically like whatever your shield would do, like a d6, it'll be 2d6 now. And then you'll have a +1 to hit.
Okay, so okay, great. So now I'm hitting at a +8 and I'm rolling a 2d6.
Yes. For a minute, I believe that spell lasts.
Clutch.
And how many actions is that?
That's 2 actions.
Okay, for your last action, what do you do? Because you have 2 friends. That
Is speaking a free action?
Speaking is a free
Pathfinder?
action. Yep.
I'm gonna take my movement. I'm gonna stride right over to Fitz's shoulder onto just pauldron, dig my feet into the straps on his shoulder to get bearing, and I call out, Lenora, Jacob. Guys.
Jacob.
Hey, what's up? Hey, everybody, what are we doing this for?
Everyone gets one, right? Everyone gets one per episode?
Yep.
I love it.
I forgot to change my name back because I left. So that's on me.
Lenora, Gibbles, and Jacob.
Laura. Okay.
His name is my name, too.
Okay, so you're calling out to them. Fitz, what are you doing?
Yeah, I will be standing up and grabbing and raising my shield.
Okay.
And because my little sweet buddy boy is on my shoulder, I will be using my class feat of Devoted Guardian to buff his circumstance bonus, his AC. And one thing I did want to ask, sweet tactical GM Waffles, considering the size of sweet baby Pinto, would you consider my shield a tower shield, given he is over my shoulder? My shoulder is... Oh, sorry, I cut out completely.
No, you're good.
Would you consider it would be a +2 instead of a +1 due to his size and my shield completely blocking my shoulder?
I will say that you can have that if you explicitly want to block for him, but then you don't have the plus to AC.
I didn't think I got the plus to AC.
If you raise a shield, you get a plus to AC.
Oh, you're saying I don't get my raised shield AC.
Yeah.
It'll just transfer to him.
Yeah, it'll transfer to him, and then he'll always have cover from like ranged attacks and stuff. He'll have like lesser cover, so like a -1 to people attacking. But if you're trying to protect him from like a melee, like a boar or something, then I'm down to say like you can pick between y'all.
Honestly, him being on your shoulder as well, shout out to chat, like, would also give him lesser cover from ranged, right? That sounds right to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. As opposed to me
I'm just until you get like a tower shield, I can't really give him like the tower shield cover unless you are gonna give up your cover.
That makes
Then
sense.
let's just go with the 1/1 to be safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're raising.
So I'll raise my shield, and I will start slamming on the front of it and screaming at this boar as I take like a wide defensive stance.
Is that 2 actions so far?
I think it would be 3 if you consider me standing up.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay. Are you making sure that you secure the flower that you have been holding unsecure for now?
Yeah. It's tucked into my apron next to my chest plate.
Okay. So with that secured, and with that called out, Gerran and Lenora, at this point, you can wake up.
All right.
But as you are waking up and getting your bearings, because they did not successfully do their perception checks to give you all enough time to get your shit together, you are awake, you are aware of what is happening, but at this moment, the ground, you realize, that was shaking, with the boar settled in front of you, and you take... Pinto, you're probably the first to realize this, and Gerran and Lenora, you're still getting your bearings, but the ground is continuing to shake. Even though this boar has stopped moving, and with its frantic eyes and wild, expression, you realize that it was not running to attack you, but rather running from something else. And at that moment, from behind these thick trees, a large claw foot smashes down on top of this large boar.
Fuck
It's
yeah.
the fucking bird, isn't it?
And this claw, leathered, scaled, not scaled, leathered and just sort of, yeah. In fact, in the seconds that you have to put yourselves together, you recognize it as rather reptilian in its skin. And coming down from what is attached to this massive claw is a huge head with large rows of teeth. As I will share with you.
Show me. I'm so excited.
Oh!
Oh, it's really Tyrannosaurus Rex!
Giant Tyrannosaurus Rex chomps the head off of this boar in one bite and swallows it as it starts
Fucking amazing.
sniffing at what else is around. And that is where we're going to end tonight. In the midst of this.
I want to remind everyone that Syrup was like, hey, you should use your hero points, because she knew what the fuck was about to happen. And it looks like, once again, for the second campaign in a row, there will be a character death in episode 5.
Guys,
I still have one hero
don't
point.
greet it.
Don't greet the Beatles.
Don't greet it.
You think you summoned it by touching the beetle?
Is it raining,
No, just don't say
perchance?
hi.
Did it suddenly just start raining?
I think I kind of want it to.
Oh, no.
Fits the mood.
Oh, no.
So as
Oh, is it
the
just drool from the
torrential
Tyrannosaurus Rex?
monsoon comes down, Fitz will kind of whisper up at Pinto and be like, if we don't move, maybe it can't see us.
For scale,
Clever girl.
the
Clever
boar,
girl.
the wild boar was large. This Tyrannosaurus Rex, which for the record, y'all don't know what the fuck this creature is. What's the size, Waffles?
Gargantuan.
Okay, just for scale.
What is
Cool,
the scale
bye.
between large and gargantuan?
So think of like a frost giant. They're
Yep.
huge. They're slightly bigger than large. So gargantuan is bigger than that. For sake of map purposes, this thing takes up a 20 by 20 square.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Great. Cool.
So it goes small, medium, large, huge, gargantuan.
Correct.
Yes.
And we are medium to small for
You
scale.
are medium.
Small. I'm gonna
scale.
cast light and pretend to be a beetle or something.
I'll throw you in the air. Yeah, you just fly away.
I'm so excited.
Chirp.
I'll take us away
Oh,
from.
can we see it? Can we see it on the map before you go
Oh,
away?
sure. 1 second.
We don't need that boar anymore.
True.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Thank you.
I was hoping you said it was raining because the Tyrannosaurus Rex was drooling on us.
Well, we will get into all of that next session.
Yeah, we fucking will.
But I will say,
Let's
this
go.
boar just died in one go. And I want you all to think very carefully about what's going to happen next.
3 letters. Are you in?